If you made it this far, thank you. If you didn't, I don't care anymore.
What? Oh God, that's dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this topic is dark.
This topic
You
is
give
dark.
me you lead it in. We'll keep this sweet, short, and simple. I'm gonna give you my feedback as a person that's very enwrapped with law enforcement, and then you give me your feedback as.
So am I.
You were.
No.
I still am.
Yeah, no, working wise. My parents are still both cops.
I forget about that.
still-
You are
yeah.
right. You're correct. You were correct, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead. Bring it. Bring it.
So, real quick, we're going to talk about, let me make sure I get the name right, Jayland Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So, the long and short of it, Jayland, from how I understand, got pulled over earlier by the police.
Where was this?
You know, actually, that's the
there you go. Oh, no shit.
That's the one thing I didn't look up.
Yeah.
Where was
the
this?
breakdown? Fuck, I didn't even know that. It was in my home state. It was in
Ohio?
Yeah, Akron, Ohio.
Okay. So he got pulled over earlier that day.
Oh, I did not know this. And like I said, I subscribe to Donut Operator.
Told me I could lead.
I'm sorry.
Now he's
I'm
taking
sorry.
control.
It just caught me off guard. I see Ohio and I'm like, uh-oh. Do I know this place? And I know where Akron is. That is not far from my hometown. Go ahead.
No. Well, so he got pulled over earlier that day. The police let him walk. They gave him a slap on the wrist, let him walk. Apparently, later on that day or shortly thereafter, he went to his mom's house, from how I understand it, borrowed her Buick, and decided to go driving with the suspended license, or like some type of tail light was out or something. The police pretty much pulled him over again for a routine traffic violation. Unfortunately, Mr. Jayland did not stop for the second pullover and decided to.
So he got pulled over twice in the same day?
Yes.
Two different vehicles?
Two different. As far as I understand, it was two different vehicles. The second time they went to pull him over, he did not stop. Decided to lead the police in a high-speed chase.
I'm skimming through the body cam footage.
The
stuff
body
right
cam
now,
footage is, first of all, that's pretty much your evidence right there. Yes, body cam footage can be fucked with, but 9 times out of 10, the cops will give you legit raw footage.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. Having a roommate that was,
Oh yeah, huh.
she's a cop. I've asked her questions about that too, about how they track her body cam footage. It all gets uploaded, and it's
they scrutinize the fuck out of it.
It's not like you record it and then you take it to the precinct.
It's on like a black box in your car.
It's a streaming and
in the unit.
It's in the unit, but it's attached to a box that you have on your chest.
Oh yes,
so you tap and say, operator off, operator on.
Yeah.
And when it's recording, it's a streaming thing.
Yeah.
It's not like I can fucking save it and then go on my computer and start changing shit.
Well, no, but what I mean, there's a black box in the car.
Yeah.
So it records all the footage from there. Now, can they do it live? I'm sure they can.
Yes, they can also do it live. Most of the time, most of the time it's live.
Now, unfortunately for Mr. Jayland, he decided, after leading the cops in a high-speed chase, and apparently from how it appears, firing off a single round out of the car during the chase, he decided to pull over and get into a foot pursuit with the police. And then shortly after the foot pursuit began, he turned around in some type of strange manner, that the cops felt their lives were in danger.
That's a lot of fucking people following him, man. Oh, like holy
10, 15 cops on his ass.
Holy shit.
So as he turned around, cops opened fire.
You know what that's called? It's called a magnum. A magnum means you're stripping all the rounds from the mag, meaning if you have a 15 round gun in the magazine, and like a Glock. My Glock carries 15 rounds. You do a mag dump means I'm shooting all 15
they dump
bullets.
The clip,
I'm emptying the clip. You don't call it a clip, but it's a magazine. Yeah.
But it's so unfortunately. So my thing is, I don't have an issue leading up to the point of where he got shot. It's the excessive amount of shots. So from how I understand, the officers fired a total of 90 rounds, and 60 of those rounds hit Jayland, which. Yeah, overkill, because most cops are taught to, 2 shots, one in the chest, one in the head, or 2 shots to the chest would usually put anybody down. Now, I will give the cops a slight pass because they did attempt to tase Jayland during the foot pursuit. I don't know if the tasers didn't make contact or if he just wasn't responsive to it.
Right.
But if you know anything about police, you know anything about high-speed chases and foot pursuit, when a cop has to go beyond that point of, hi, my name is Officer such and such. I pulled you over for such and such. I need your, ID, registration, whatever. When you push a cop past that point, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get shot. And unfortunately, in a case where Jayland is African American yeah, your likelihood, especially when you lead the cops on a high-speed chase and a foot pursuit, your likelihood to get shot by the police just it blows through the roof. Blows through the roof. Now, I mainly wanted to cover this topic because of the backlash the police officers are getting. You know, people are trying to turn this into a race war. Like, oh, they only shot him because he was black. They only did this because he was black. And I strongly disagree. This man literally did everything wrong and got the exact consequences of his actions. As a black man, you do not run from the police, ever, in anybody's car, especially your own. So the high-speed chase, you failed. You got in a foot pursuit.
I'm still looking at this video, and it's crazy how many people lit this guy up.
The only way I think he could have survived this is if he literally threw himself on the ground, splayed out, like hands, feet spread out. Maybe the cops wouldn't have shot him.
The thing is the body cam footage, because they can't show actual causes of death on these kind of videos. Oh, yeah, because you can see one of them deployed a taser. They already been showing that over there. They attempted to tase, but I think it's the jerk reaction of him turning so fast, even if you deploy the taser. It
looks suspicious.
They're already shooting him before they actually had a chance to deploy the taser. I think what his reaction was is because he turned, they heard he fired an arm. Now, did they fire a firearm on him?
So he fired a shot prior to any of this during the high-speed chase.
Yeah, gets out of the car.
So that's when the cop let everybody know he's armed. When a cop has to tell his other fellow officers, when he identifies that the suspect is armed, his whole mindset, his or her, their whole mindset changes. It's no longer friendly and happy. Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. It is now, I have to make sure I go home. The guy with the badge goes home. The bad guy, the villain, the perp, sometimes, unfortunately, has to get put down. My thing is, like I said, I want to give you guys my 2 cents on it because I feel this was justified.
I'd have to do more of my research into it because I did, like I said, I skimmed past it. There's so much shit that's going on. I don't pay attention to all of it, but seeing the body cam footage of what's going on, seeing that, yeah, they got their tasers deployed out and stuff like that with them. It's crazy the tasers are yellow opposed to Metros being black or orange. You can't deploy a taser and match it with someone that's carrying a fucking Glock at the same time because obviously the Glock's going to fire more. You're going to dump a Glock round faster than you are. A taser's only got one cartridge to it.
Yes.
So they'd never even had a chance to use the taser. So their justification is, okay, we deployed the taser, so we were going to tase him, but then the officer shot him because he went to go.
But that's what I mean, though. At that point,
it's just there's the body camera. Just you know what? Yeah, because he did turn around.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, like even put yourself in that situation. Would you not have fired?
Oh no. And this is 100%. I'd have lit him up. I'd lit him up. But now the concept of one thing that which makes it wrong, and even watching Donut Operator because he's ex-military and ex-law enforcement, he was saying everything's justified.
Yes.
Regardless of being a race
from start to finish.
From start to finish.
It was justified.
What isn't justified is a 90 round Magnum.
Yes.
Where every officer, and you see there's
everybody, there's like 5, 6, 10
people there.
Yes. And they just let rip.
Each in what they all look like they're carrying Glock 17s or Glock 19s, which there you go. See, yes, they're all carrying
in his car.
Yeah,
that's what they found in his car.
But they're all carrying the same thing.
So that's what I mean. You're armed.
Yeah.
They're going to pull guns. They're going to
Everybody's
draw guns.
firing 15 rounds, but 15, dude, 90
shots,
rounds is... The body can't even...
Excessive.
And 60 of them hit, so it's like... You can't even identify the body at that point.
At that
point. There's nothing left that person.
They couldn't identify the difference between an entry wound and an exit wound. That's how much he'd been hit.
That's excessive.
Like I said, that's excessive. That's the one part I say the police faulted on.
It's improper training.
But I mean, at that point, I was going to shoot you anyway.
Now, mind you, this is you're also comparing it to Metro. The Metropolitan Police Department here in Vegas, in Las Vegas, is one of the best in the country. A lot of people come from different states to train under Metro.
Yeah.
Akron is not that big. Mm-hmm. So when you go to Akron, it is a bigger city. It's obviously bigger than Orville. It's bigger than Worcester. It's bigger than Smithville. But when you get to Akron, I would compare Akron to it's Henderson. It's a portion. Mm-hmm. It's a portion. They've got little bits and pieces of it. It's not huge, but these officers probably don't come across crime in an extent to know how to show self-control.
Like that.
If this happened in Metro, cut that 90 rounds down to 60, 30 hits them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have a better control standard. It's more or less, it comes across the same thing to kind of sum this up. It's police training and consistency on their training.
Yes.
They get trained, and this is going based off of me working for the fucking casinos. You get officers that come across really scary near-death experiences, and they try to rely on their training.
That leaves a mark
but their
on you.
training is once every 2 years.
Yeah.
That does me no good.
And it reinforces old standards.
Old standards. You don't know what Akron's training is. They might be trained once, twice a year, and they're like, okay, I only know to chase after the subject. The minute they call on me, I have to mag dump. Some states, now it's not something that I agree on, some state laws are different. Nevada does not have a law like that. You can't mag dump because of the velocity of the city.
Yeah.
How prostitution
You'll shoot people.
How prostitution is illegal because we have over 1 million people here.
Yeah.
But it's legal in Nye County because the population is lower.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
interesting.
One of my coworkers told me that because we talk about human trafficking and stuff like that, and people ask when guests come, like, oh, where can I go pick up a girl? Right. We don't give them shit for it because they're like, well, I heard in Vegas you can pick up girls. Like, no, in Nevada you can.
Right.
But you need to go to Nye County. Nye or Wayne County.
Right.
Like, well, what's the difference? It's the capacity.
Yeah.
You can't run brothels in places that are over 1 million.
Huh.
So it's the same thing. If you have a high capacity, I can't go to fucking New York City and do a mag dump.
Yeah.
Because there's well over 1 million people. It's the same thing in Vegas. You can't do a mag dump in...
And that makes sense. I never even thought about that.
Those are small rural areas. So maybe mag dumps are justified.
But see, and the thing I want to touch on is the race aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Because now, Lynn, you were raised slightly different. Lynn's mom is Caucasian, stepfather is Hispanic. Mm-hmm. I was raised by black mother, black grandparents. So our perspectives are slightly different when it comes to certain situations of race. Lynn's had different experiences from me. My experience, because both of my parents are law enforcement. My stepfather is retired Air Force and law enforcement. He was a sergeant at the DMV before he retired. They have trained me. They have beat into my skull exactly what I need to do if a cop pulls me over. You see those lights go up. Once that car lights up, you pull over. Just pull over to the right. Turn off the car. Put the car in park. Turn off the car. Put both hands on the steering wheel. You want to make the officer feel as comfortable as possible so that their threat level or their threat meter is as low as possible. So you are in the lowest denominator, the lowest
only thing is,
to get shot.
and I do agree, you're giving an education to a lot of people that have different opinions to that. Some people think that because, no different than if you go to trespass somebody from a casino. Like, I'm kicking you out. You're not supposed to be here. Like, well, I paid for this room, so this is my room, so I can do what I want. One of the things that they were saying for one of the Stay Safe one for sexual harassment and all that stuff, if you buy a hotel room, you can have sex inside that room. Mm-hmm. If there's a balcony attached to that hotel room, can you have sex on the balcony?
No.
Why not?
That's indecent exposure.
But you own the room, right?
No.
Exactly.
You don't own the room.
Exactly. That's what happens with this. People think that when they're doing a certain thing that you can't.
It's free across
it's
the
free.
board.
Yeah. You can't remove me from my car because this is my car.
Of course,
it's like I can't. It turns into a federal law, meaning that if a peacekeeper, law enforcement comes and makes contact with you, they have the right to do whatever they want.
Now you're obstructing justice.
But then it becomes in that weird scenario of, okay, do I trust getting pulled out of here? Is the cop does he have good intentions? Is he a good person?
Right.
We come in this weird area where it's like, yes, we want to tell them to do the right thing of, put your hands on the steering wheel, don't do any sudden jerk movements, don't do this, don't do this. Right. But then they've seen the experience of, well, fuck, I follow the rules, and yet this cop still does the bad thing.
And that's what I want to talk about, because we've seen this happen with black people before. The cop shooting the young man in the car with his wife. Simple traffic stop. The cop felt a certain type of way, shot the guy in the driver's seat right next to his fiance. We have the young African-American girl who took the knife out to confront her bully, and unfortunately ended up getting shot by the officer that was called to the scene. We see this time and time again. And what I'm going to say about this, as many others have, we need to get all of the details before you form an opinion.
Yes.
Once you have all the details, by all means, say what you have to say.
Say what you chest.
The problem is that people are forming their opinions before they get all the information.
One of the things that I teach in VDI and verbal defensive influence is the concept of perception, meaning when you approach something, we'll show scenarios just like this, like one I'm bringing up with you right now, where the more you know. The more you know. There's instances where it's like something is happening, and I replay the video 3 times, and I always get the student's opinion, like, hey, so tell me what happened. It'll be like there was a video of a pool party where sorry, I wanted to show you this video, but I'll play it here in a minute. Yeah. There's a video of a pool party. An officer has this BFA, black female adult, and he pulls her down by her hair to the ground.
Oh.
And there's all these other BFAs around, throwing their hands around, getting ready to beat up this officer, and the officer's screaming at them to get back. He's shoving them back. And he goes to start pulling out his handcuffs, and a guy comes on his side with his firearm.
And gets him.
and goes to get him, pulls up his pants to go and hit him. So the cop, Metro, they have, or at least this is for Metro more or less, their gun holster, it's called a rocker. What the rocker does is
it's a lock.
It's a lock to stop someone from pulling it. So you need to know how to withdraw. I mean, you need to know to tilt it, pull, and go. Now those rockers you can chamber around just by pushing it in. So when he pushes it down, he chambers and walks up. The thing is that he chambered, walked up, and then started following after the dude that was about to attack him.
All bad. And that's on the rest of the crowd.
But then it turns into a thing. He got suspended, not because he grabbed this girl, not because he drew his firearm, but because he started chasing after the person that was going to attack him. So everybody, when I showed the video, said, okay, what's your reaction to this? All the students saying different things. You shouldn't grab a girl by her hair. He shouldn't have pulled out his gun and pointed at those people. And I go, I understand. I get their opinions.
From a civilian.
And then I showed them the beginning of the video.
Oh,
because
what's the beginning?
You started in the middle.
You get context.
Yes. There's context now. You see that the officer made contact. All these people are having a huge loud block party. It's one officer waiting for his backup to come, and he goes to make contact. He puts his hand out. He tries to control the situation. This black girl gets in his face and starts snapping her hands like this, saying, I need you to leave, blah, blah, blah. And he's telling her. He has his hand on his chest. He's putting his arm out like, ma'am, because I'm trying to get you to calm down. I just need I need you to stop doing this. And she started saying the same thing. It's because I'm black, I'm doing this. It's because my race, this is the reason why you're coming here. If it was a white block party, you wouldn't do this. So she goes, what are you going to do if a black female pushes you? Are you going to just shoot me? So she starts shoving him. She has these long ass nails and starts clawing at his neck. She's swinging
lucky
at
he
him.
didn't shoot her.
So he grabbed her and put her down. And that's when the video starts.
Because you have to incapacitate him as quickly as possible.
All they see, and they try to justify her. And then when they're like, well, now we understand that he grabbed her, but then why did he pull his gun? I was like, law enforcement is trained that if someone comes on their dominant side where the firearm is, they are allowed to draw and chamber.
Yes, if you feel your life is in danger.
Your life is in danger because we're stopping and you're outnumbered. They're like, oh, but he has pepper spray. I was like,
the fuck?
To do what? To do what? You spray a bunch of people, and if you've been pepper sprayed, you're still active.
What are you going to do, piss off a rabbit?
You're going to spray and clear the crowd and try your best to try and control the situation, but he was in his right to do it. He was in suspension because he took the firearm out, brandished it down, and then went after that guy. And
you left.
He left the scene, and rather than protecting himself, he started walking like, I'm going to push you back. And it sucks is because it's a reaction. There's been times that I've had to go put someone in mechanical restraints, and I'm outnumbered. It's me and another person. I used to be posted outside in front of the club, in front of the light, and there would be a guy fighting with his girl. Or no, the girl like attacking the guy because a girl was flirting with her man inside of the club. So she's scratching at her neck and shit. And you go to grab her and pull her off, and now the boyfriend is mad because you're putting hands on his girl. So now you got to stop him. And you're holding one girl, fighting the other guy, and all it looks like is pedestrians coming around the corner.
I was gonna say you got bystanders.
Everybody's looking at you, and what does everybody have?
Now you got a crowd.
A fucking phone. So they're all recording at you. Stop beating that person up. Why are you being so aggressive with that female? I'm like, you realize that she was the aggressor. She was hurting that person. You're screaming at everybody to get the fuck back while trying to put the restraints on them.
And they're accusing you,
trying to call for backup. Your rig's falling off. So it's all over the place. Now you have 20, 30 people recording you trying to play Captain Save-A-Ho because they don't know the scenario, and they're in there trying to hurt you when you were trying to stop this girl from attacking this person. Or vice versa. A guy strangling his girl, you go to stop the guy, and then the girl's like, well, I love him. And
she'll fight you.
She'll fight you when you were trying to save her life, so you have to put her down, and it's like...
We've both been through that, by the way.
But
it's whatever.
To wrap it up.
So all I pretty much brought that up to discuss was that get all the facts. Context is everything. And as an African American, whether you're mixed, full-blooded black from Uganda, Wakanda, Indonesia, wherever.
That sounds like a fucking disease.
Uganda's real.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wakanda.
No, Uganda.
Uganda?
Yeah.
Uganda, Wakanda?
No.
Have you ever gone to Wakanda?
Because they sounded alike. Stop it. You're not going to make me racist, too. First of all, practice intelligence. When a cop pulls you over, if you feel something's going to go down, do everything in your power to make that cop feel comfortable.
Try to control the situation to the best of your abilities without putting.
I don't care about your race. I don't care where you came from. I don't care about your background history. Whatever it takes for you to survive that interaction with that officer, do it. That's the only thing that matters. Do not lead cops in a high-speed chase.
do
Do not
it.
run away from
You
an
lose
officer.
at that point. If
do
you're
not brandish a weapon. You will get shot.
If you're not able to talk yourself out of the situation, because obviously, like I said, not all officers are perfect. You're going to have ones that are going to use power more than others.
Yeah.
It becomes a game of chess. Being logical enough to be able to either convince that officer that you did nothing wrong,
right,
or being able to get them to agree with you so you both leave on good terms. The minute you lose your temper and start freaking out saying, well, let me get out of the car or let me do this, you lose all ability to control the situation because now they have the right as representatives of that state to defend themselves and control you.
Yes.
Meaning you have no ability to talk out of it. People do all that shit. They'll talk a bunch of shit and they'll try to talk with you. And then when they get mad and they try to go above and they go hands on, they're like, well, I was just trying to do this. It's like, you should have fucking thought about that before you decided to do that shit.
Right. Keep your mouth shut. Yes. So, that's just stay mindful, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And like I said, my conclusion of that situation is it was justified. The shots were a little excessive, but unfortunately, he fucked up in all the right ways.
Different time zones, different places. Shit happens. Another one bites the dust.
Like I said, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Hey. Feel free to go ahead and go over to our Teespring. Buy some merch just to show us the love.
Ooh.
Go ahead and check us out on Patreon. Sign up for a subscription.
Cannot wait.
Go ahead and check us out on TikTok. Leave us a follow.
Do it.
Please go to YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell.
Those things.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that other fun stuff.
It's hot in here.
And Anchor. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music.
Everywhere.
Please say hello to me.
Forever.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Project Airwaves. Keep your head in the clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground. Always moving
We will catch you in the next episode. You did so good.
Bye.